AmericanEagle.com/danproft.
Picture this. You've worked 40 years, and at 40 hours per week working, say, 48 weeks in a year, well, that adds up to 76,800 hours where you've paid into your Social Security. No, you need a strategy. So join Wealth Management Group at one of their upcoming complimentary webinars, Maximizing Social Security for Today's World, to help you wring every nickel out of your Social Security. Join them on June 23rd at 11 a.m. or on June 25th at 6 p.m. Register now by going to investwithwmg.com. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC.
After 25 years of building websites for all kinds of companies in many different industries, AmericanEagle.com realized a well-designed website is also your best employee, bringing efficiency, revenue, production, showing up every day, giving above and beyond to increase your bottom line. That's what a website designed, developed, and hosted by AmericanEagle.com has brought to so many clients. An AmericanEagle.com website is a 24/7 branding exercise, building rapport and thus brand equity while you sleep. Companies like WeatherTech have relied on AmericanEagle.com's website design and development and hosting capabilities for years. When some of the world's top brands need a reliable company to prepare their sites for high-traffic events, who do they call? AmericanEagle.com. Their clients have come to rely on them for a full line of website services, from consulting and strategy to digital marketing, hosting, and maintenance. Give the team at AmericanEagle.com a call today. 1-877-WEB-NOW. The number 1 is the number. AmericanEagle.com is the website. 1-877-WEB-NOW1 is the number. You've all probably heard of asbestos and know that it's dangerous. You may also know exposure to asbestos is the only known cause of mesothelioma, a deadly cancer. People who were exposed to asbestos decades ago are being diagnosed to this day with mesothelioma. That's because it can take as many as 30 or even 50 years to develop. But did you also know there is money to pay victims of asbestos exposure from years ago? An estimated $30 billion is available to help compensate victims and their families. If you or a member of your family have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be able to receive some of this money without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Get a free legal review today. Call Sokolov Law at 1-800-972-3229. That number again, 1-800-972-3229, 1-800-972-3229. Call today, 1-800-972-3229.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and he is still a free man thanks to COVID-19 protocols. He is Roger Stone, who has been sentenced to 40 months in prison after being convicted on a number of charges as part of the FBI's open-ended Russian collusion investigation. Stone, convicted of obstruction, witness tampering, making false statements, professes his innocence, as he did throughout. And we're happy to have Roger Stone on the show for his maiden voyage. Roger Stone, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Great to be here. I think because the Department of Justice issued their response to a court motion yesterday, there's a widespread misperception that my request for a delay in my sentencing has been granted. That is not the case. As of right now, I have been ordered to report to prison next Tuesday at noon in Jessup, Georgia. I have a motion pending before Judge Amy Berman Jackson, who oversaw my trial. As you know, I have filed an appeal based on a number of flaws in that trial. But we're in a hairy situation here. I'm 3 days away from what I consider to be, because of COVID-19, a deep state death sentence. Why Michael Avenatti and Michael Cohen and Rick Gates, who the Manafort partner who testified against me at trial falsely, are on home confinement when I am substantially older than all of them. I also have an underlying history of asthma and other issues, but I have been ordered by the Bureau of Prisons to report. And the COVID-19 situation at that prison is a little unclear. BOP says they have no confirmed tests there, but the prison guards union says otherwise.
Well, it's important you make that point, because it has been reported that the DOJ cited department-wide policies in response to the COVID pandemic, which was the delay in your reporting, and you're saying that's not true. So that's an important distinction.
Well, they did. I don't know if there is further delay. In other words, I was convicted in January, and February, and they gave me an initial assignment date of June 30th. That has not changed. There's been no extension in that, which I think may have been a public assumption, maybe even an assumption by Judge Jackson. I've asked for a 60-day extension because the situation at this prison is just not clear. There's a number of outstanding COVID-19 tests that have been administered, but they don't seem to be any results. And the prisoners union, the prison guards union, has been very vocal about the fact that there are no protocols, no gloves, no masks, no hand washing.
Right.
So it is deeply disturbing to me and my family that at my age I may be being sent into a death trap.
Well, when did you
My
get to
motion is not unreasonable, but Judge Jackson, at least not so far, doesn't seem to be inclined. I'm only reading the tea leaves based on her public motions.
Yeah, so do you have to, obviously have to hold your breath and wait for her, hopefully to change her mind before Tuesday. But if you are forced to check into that prison, what rights do you have? Can you ask for isolation or be separated from the other prisoners?
Well, in all honesty, my focus has not been on that, but my focus has been on a humanitarian act of mercy by President Donald Trump. There's no reason why I should be subjected to COVID. I wasn't given a life sentence. I was given, what I thought was a hefty sentence. Just to be clear, because of this malarkey last week with this former Hillary Clinton stooge acting like he's a non-political career line prosecutor, which he is not, saying that I was given special treatment by DOJ. Let me tell you something. When 29 FBI agents show up at your house to roust you out of bed when you have no previous criminal record and they're charging you with non-violent white-collar process crimes, that is definitely special treatment.
Yeah, that was special treatment.
They had to get me out there early for CNN, I mean, give me a break.
They brought an army tank and a helicopter was overhead. It was crazy.
So do you expect to be pardoned by Trump?
Well, I mean, there are a number of options here. He could choose to commute my sentence. I really believe I will win on appeal. As you know, you probably know, the jury forewoman in my case was kind of caught red-handed afterwards, after the verdict, because she had posted on Twitter and Facebook in 2019 a series of posts attacking Roger Stone and Donald Trump. So it's not just the president. That alone might not be sufficient, even though I think it should. But she was attacking me by name. In jury selection, she hid her knowledge of me. She also hid these social media postings. They were all in a private setting. She didn't take them off a private setting. She kept them in a private setting during jury selection, during the trial, and then after the trial, she deleted all of them. When we asked Judge Jackson for the right to subpoena that deleted material, it was denied. So we were told that did not constitute juror bias. That's just one of many issues with my trial that we filed our initial papers on appeal. So, but an appeal could take a year.
Right.
I may not be alive for an appeal.
And so have you or your lawyers spoken to Trump or anybody around Trump about a possible pardon or commutation?
It is our intention to file a formal application for commutation today. I've been very forthright about it in my media appearances, though. You can see a terrific interview I gave with Sarah Carter yesterday, and when I said very clearly that I am fervently praying for justice in this matter, and there is only one man who can do it. It's not a political matter at this point. It's a humanitarian matter. It is a matter of both mercy and justice. I can make a very strong case that I was not given a fair trial. At the very beginning, the government made a curious motion. Stone is not allowed to raise the misconduct of the Office of Special Counsel, the FBI, the DOJ, or any member of Congress, Adam Schiff. And the judge granted that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going into trial with one hand tied behind your back.
And
why would you make that motion unless you were aware of misconduct by those entities? That was an unconstitutional ruling by the judge under Kyles v. Whitney. The integrity of the investigation and the indictment is always fair game for defense in a criminal trial.
All right. So the commutation petition gets filed today. Good to know. Roger Stone, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Take care.
Good luck. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll talk to our colleague, the sage of South Central. He is Larry Elder, as you well know, and he's got a new film out that he's produced and also takes part in that we'll discuss at 8:08.
But now let's head into that newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
The state transitioning to phase 4 of the governor's COVID-19 reopening. Thunderstorms on the way for today. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
They hope to get rid of Obamacare by court order. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The Trump administration takes another shot at eliminating the health care law. Fox's John Decker, live in Washington.
The Justice Department is asking the Supreme Court to invalidate the Affordable Care Act. The Solicitor General in a filing said that once the law's individual coverage mandate and 2 provisions are invalidated, the remainder of the ACA should not be allowed to remain in effect. Sometime next term, justices will hear arguments in the case, which will decide whether Obamacare's individual mandate was rendered unconstitutional because Congress reduced